Hello. Hello, hello, hello. My voice is about gone. I wanted to refrain from speaking on Antonio Brown based on the fact that Antonio Brown and he goes down a long list of others. I won a bet early on this year. Me and my friend placed a bet. And if you listen to me, you already know about the bet. But before the season started in the NFL, which means it was over 16 weeks ago, before this preseason, anything got underway, that's right, Odell or AB. Which one was going to get in trouble first? Which one was going to slip? And I told my buddy, without a fraction of a doubt, it was going to be Antonio Brown because he hadn't had anything or nobody to really punish him for anything yet. He hasn't hit the wall. Odell Beckham has hit many walls. From the Miami boat, hotel room, now he in Cleveland. He gonna try to toe the line. He gonna try to stay within reason to let people know, hey, I'm not a bad guy. And I told you this when Antonio Brown was in Pittsburgh. That's why I didn't make videos when he was going through all this stuff, because I already knew where this was going. I knew it was going to be like this or worse. So if you know someone who's going through mental health issues, please try to be an influence in their lives. Try to help them understand that they do need help and they just don't know it. There has to be somebody close to them. That's the only way it's going to change. Now, when I won the bet, I kept winning it, meaning that he wouldn't stop making erratic decisions. In Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin knew how to handle him. He knew that he would give AB certain privileges that he wouldn't give to any other player because he knew that this is an exceptional talent, but I got to keep him happy. Till it got to the point where he just wasn't going to be happy no more. You just couldn't reach him. So once it was said and done and everything that went on in Pittsburgh, you all kept telling me, and I mean the brothers, man, why you just hating on the brother? You taking up for Roethlisberger? Can't you see it's Roethlisberger's fault? I said, Roethlisberger was wrong for throwing him under the bus. And he threw other players under the bus. He was wrong for that. But all of the other infractions he did, All of the other infractions he did. I've been telling them, and I told them that this day would happen. They say, some people be like, man, I don't like to say I told you so. I like to say I told you so. I love to say I told you so. Because I get to say it all the time. Thanks to people not believing anything, I get to say at the end of the day, I told you so. That's a reward. But in this case, it's a tragedy because a lot of you should have been telling AB, hey, man, AB counseling, y'all should have been pushing the narrative. People don't mess up that kind of money who normal. You don't blow $30 million and all you got to do is wait till Monday and you send out a tweet on Friday that gets you fired. Then you're finna get $10 million and all you got to do is wait till Monday and you send out a tweet that gets you fired. Something's not right there. Now we got a little problem with the All-Star game. I don't think I'm going. I was gonna go down there and confront LeBron, but it's cold outside. So with all these infractions that's happening, let me send you what they sent me. Carcino, you were right about Antonio Brown all along. I must say, I just never thought it would get to this point where I would even say Antonio Brown need help. I was saying the NFL was racist and how they was treating Antonio Brown. But now I see a lot of this is Antonio Brown. I was saying, brother, just chill. But he was far too far gone for that. So that's somebody. My mom don't know who Antonio Brown is, to be honest. So he was arrested for allegedly beating up a moving truck driver with a trainer assisting. Let that sink in. The trainer is assisting him and hurting. The trainer is assisting, okay, and hurting the driver. Your trainer. This comes after the girl and the kids leave him out of the house. He puts up a video of him using all type of language. And you're a professional athlete. What sponsorship is going to stick with you after this? It was clear, everything. His agent left saying he got to get evaluated or mental evaluation before I can step back in the picture. I can't go around Antonio Brown. And then this is a man who owns guns. This is a man that owns guns. It's sad. It's a very sad day to where this is the narrative now. It was sad the day that we had to even mention it. Because Antonio Brown, if he wasn't in that community that he was in, it could have went a different way. Antonio Brown used to donate money to that police department. They returned in Hollywood, was it Hollywood, California or something? Or whatever the place is. That police department gave the money back. They gave the money back. See, I haven't said anything about Delonte West because I'm getting more of the information. I just don't want to give everybody 65 videos on Delonte West. Like, hey, no knock on everybody else's hustle and what they're doing. They hitting it while the iron's hot. That's cool. No problems. But when I get more details, I can make a more concise video of what's going on with Delonte West. It's just like this. So he was arrested and he didn't want to give himself up. He locked himself when they issued out a warrant for his arrest, saying that people are out to get him and they trying to ruin his image. So he locked himself in the house for 3 days before he surrendered, thank God. And he went in there and got him to do it. Now, they could have broken the door down and drug him out. And it could have went another way because he's armed. He has a gun in the house. Had he not been Antonio Brown, this would have went in another direction. Now, here's the thing. The judge set a $110,000 bond for Antonio. He got to go through a mental health evaluation after being charged with the assault of the delivery driver in Hollywood, Florida. Antonio Brown is only 31 years of age, but in the NFL, these are like his prime years. Like you're getting near the end of it. Now he got to wear a GPS monitor. He got to give up his passport and all of his guns. He got to undergo drug and alcohol testing. He arrived at 10 p.m. last night, turned himself in. And he spent the night there and went there in the morning, posted his bond, and he was out. Glenn Holt, his friend and trainer, was accused of attacking the driver also and was charged with 1 count of burglary and battery. The police report incident began as an argument over Brown's refusal to pay $4,000 to the driver to release his household goods. The driver called police and reported a vandalism after he and Brown threw a rock and drove away, causing a small dent in the chip of the paint. The driver later returned when the manager of his company told him that Antonio Brown would now pay the $4,000 and an additional $860 for the damages. Brown then paid $4,000, but refused to pay the rest, the $860. $860. Remember that. $860. So the driver returned to the van to call his company. And that's when Antonio Brown started another verbal argument with the guy for the $860. $860. $860. You have been arrested. You got a GPS monitor. You have all of this nonsense when you could have just paid the $4,000 you owe up front. This is why people say he needs a mental evaluation. For $860, you just had to pay a $110,000 bond, which means that you had to pay $11,000 for $860. Plus lawyer fees and court costs. Plus your reputation hit. That's going to cost you in endorsements if you do get back in the league. Nobody's going to forget this. But what's more important than all of this put together combined is Antonio Brown needs help. So when everybody's trying to defend him, all you doing is encouraging him to believe the same behavior that you're feeding him. Oh man, you see how they let Roethlisberger do everything? He right. They ain't saying nothing to Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger ain't doing all this. Now, what Roethlisberger did back in the day, he shouldn't have been in the league. He had a problem and they got him fixed. But normally the stuff he was doing, we talking real jail time. Now, what's the next step? For humility, Lewis. For humility. No, he's wrong. See, when people see themselves in a humiliative situation, they start to say, man, that's you now. You the guy in the mug shot. That's who you are. That's what everybody sees. Now you got to change the narrative. You put yourself here. Now you got to face it. I'm not going to show you Antonio Brown in an NFL uniform, smiling with a touchdown, talking about he been a no. You're not that guy. You're this guy in the mugshot right now. Now fix it. Fix it so we don't have to show this anymore. He needs to see that. See, he's gone off the persona that he's Antonio Brown, the superstar. He needs some humility. And hopefully this gets it to him. So I'm out. Thank you for the support.